What's up, Dialed fam? Today I'm gonna teach you how to do the perfect kettlebell swing and give you all the little details you need to make sure that this is as efficient and as safe as possible. First things first, you need one kettlebell that is heavy enough to really require your hips to propel this thing. A lot of times you'll see people doing a kettlebell swing where they're kind of just lifting it up with their arms and doing this fly. If you can grab the kettlebell and just do a fly with it, strict and slow like that, it's too light. Make sure you need your hips to power it because that's our goal. This is a posterior chain exercise, which means glutes, hamstrings, all through the back of your leg, all through and up your back, okay? So first thing you need to know is how to hip hinge. Hip hinging is super important to make sure that you keep a neutral spine and push your hips back without damaging anything back here. So make sure you learn how to hip hinge, hinging forward with a slight bend in your knee. Everyone has different kinematics and their body types are different, so some people have straighter legs than others. So don't stress about how bent your legs are. Just make sure you have enough there to sink into the swing when the kettlebell's back. Last thing I want to tell you before we start the swing is to make sure you keep your hands tight, sort of in this leg triangle right here. So your hands should always be in the handle of the kettlebell between your groin and your knees. This is your triangle. If you're lower than that, it's gonna pull you forward. You're gonna get off balance, lose your power, and you're probably gonna tweak something. So here's a couple swings to show you what I mean. The kettlebell's starting in front of me because we wanna hike it into the proper position. Instead of just deadlifting it up and doing this weird little toss to get the motion going, you want that first swing from the go to be strong, and the hike is the way to do that. So it's in front of me, I'm gonna tilt it back, my shoulders are packed, I'm gonna brace my stomach, which we'll talk about later, and I'm pulling it tight to the triangle. Okay, from here, I'm gonna squeeze my butt, drive my hips forward, and stand up tall. Pull it back. I'm gonna set it down the same way I picked it up. And let go nice and smooth. So that is a hard style swing. There are different styles of swings. There's kettlebell competition. There are American overhead swings. This is my favorite style because it's the safest, it's the most controlled. So what you see is a lot of deceleration here as I load up, and then I squeeze my butt and drive up. As the kettlebell comes up, you should have constant tension on this thing, and you should power it up so fast that by the time the kettlebell gets to here, you're actually decelerating it and already starting to pull it back down. So you stop it before it goes above your shoulders, you're pulling it back down, and then you're decelerating again at the bottom, controlling that pendulum the whole time. So you can go lighter with your kettlebell swing and go for more of an endurance effect. You can go heavier, less reps, and focus on more power. Either way, you're gonna accomplish a lot of what we need as cyclists, which is power and endurance. The last thing we should talk about is the breath. You being able to use your breath to brace and protect your spine at the bottom and exhale and contract and accelerate the kettlebell as it comes up is very important. So once you have your hip hinge down, you have all the positionings down, you're starting in your hike, you're keeping your hands in the triangle. Once you're here, you should be basically, you're coming toward the bottom of the position, pulling air in. As you pull in air, you should be able to hold it and brace through your stomach. So you're creating inner abdominal pressure. This is you pulling the air in and kind of pushing it out at 360 degrees to protect your spine. So it's not flexing your stomach, it's just pulling in air and bracing. That way, once I'm ready to contract, I can exhale my air and exhale and tighten my stomach and keep everything tight. And now at the top, I'm flexing my stomach. And then on the way down, I pull air in, I begin to brace, and I'm ready to do it again. So here's a few more reps. Tilt it back, pack shoulders, brace. So you can see, pulling it air in, pushing it out at the top. I almost had to check myself there too and make sure I stood up all the way. Make sure you're literally just squeezing your butt cheeks until they stop. You don't want to lean back at the top. You don't want to finish here with straight knees and kind of a hinged hip. You want to squeeze, full extension at the top. Now from there, it's all about practice. Now, remember to have that sweet spot weight, not too heavy, you're gonna injure yourself, not too light, where you can just fling it up with your shoulders. and practice, practice. If you notice any specific issues in your movement, I will challenge you to deep dive, dissect it, and find out what it is. Is it your hip hinge? Is it your inability to activate your glutes? Is it your shoulder pack, or is it your breathing and your bracing? These are all separate things that really come together that make a great kettlebell swing. Take your time to learn it. I've been doing it forever, but because I have mastered it, it is my favorite workout, and I want you to experience that too. If you have any further questions, don't hesitate to reach out. You can shoot me a DM, or you can go to my website, dialedhealth.com, and reach out through the forum. Thank you for watching. Start moving forward and discover your path.